Tenant tip number 5, on the move, leases, security deposits, and moving out. Moving in? Moving out? Here's some info on leases, security deposits, and dealing with the unexpected that might help you on your way. First, let's take a look at leases. Basically, a lease sets the rules of the game. Who pays for utilities? Is there off-street parking? Are pets allowed? Since a lease is a legal binding contract, whatever conditions are in the lease, you and your landlord must both follow. Leases can be simple one-page documents or many pages with 50 or more conditions. Reading the lease carefully is a real must. Better yet, have someone else read the lease for you. Call Vermont Tenants or Vermont Legal Aid to get help with this. Often when we are excited about a new home, we overlook important details we later regret. Here's some examples. Some leases state that if the landlord sells the building, they can give you 30 days notice and you'd have to move, even in the middle of a year-long lease. This can come as a shock if you haven't read the lease carefully. Be alert and know what's in your lease. Though you have the right to have guests of your choice in your rental home, many leases do not allow subletting. Subletting is when you, the tenant, allow someone else to live in your home, either with you or when you are living elsewhere. Best practice, let your landlord know you want someone to move in with you and ask to add their name to the lease. If your lease says no pets and you bring little Fluffy home without telling your landlord, that is a violation of your lease and a cause for eviction. Best practice, ask your landlord if you can have a pet. They may agree, and if so, they may also charge an extra pet deposit. If your pet is a service or emotional support animal, different rules will apply. We'll cover that in our video on fair housing and disability law. Security deposits. When you start a lease, you will need to pay first month's rent and a refundable security deposit. The security deposit is meant as insurance for the landlord in case you move out and there is damage that needs to be fixed or unpaid rent or utilities. In Burlington and Berry City, the security deposit is limited to 1 month's rent. In the rest of the state, landlords can charge first month's rent, last month's rent, a security deposit, key deposit, or more. After you move out, the landlord must either return your security deposit in full, or if there was damage to the apartment, send you receipts for needed repairs and any money left after the repairs were made. The refund must be postmarked within 14 days of your moving out. If it is late, you may be awarded twice your security deposit amount. So how do you ensure you get your deposit back? First, before you move your stuff in, take pictures and use a checklist to document any damages, like scratches on the kitchen counters or holes in the wall or carpet. Ideally, you'd do this checklist with your landlord, but you can find a checklist on our website at www.vttenants.org to bring with you in case the landlord doesn't have one ready. Keep a copy of your checklist and pictures and send a copy to your landlord. Then, when you move out, take more pictures and do the checklist again. Keep both copies and all pictures. If your landlord does not return your deposit or says you caused damage you know you didn't do, you will have proof. In Burlington or Berry, if your landlord doesn't return your deposit or returns it late, you can go before a city housing board of review to get it back. In the rest of the state, you'd need to go through small claims court. But if you have your documents ready, you have a good chance to get your money back. Call the Vermont Tenant Hotline at 802-864-0099 and we can help you through the process. Moving out in these uncertain times with COVID-19. Normally, when you plan to move at the end of a lease or any time while renting month to month, you need to give proper notice. Proper notice is 1 full rental period, 2 in Burlington. For example, this means if you want to move out at the end of June, you need to give notice before June 1st or before May 1st if in Burlington. It's best to do this in writing as this notice documents your move-out date and will help you if there's a disagreement over your security deposit. We have a move-out sample letter on our website you can download or print to help with this. Living with a pandemic that might last a while means we all face uncertainty. You may need to move out before the end of your lease. You might get a new job elsewhere, your school might shut down, or you realize you can't afford the rent any longer. Life happens, but breaking a lease can be serious. First, talk to your landlord. Let them know you need to move and offer to help them find a new tenant. Follow this up with a written move-out notice. A landlord does have an obligation to try to re-rent the apartment, but if they can't find a new tenant, you will still owe rent until they do find another tenant or until the lease is up. As soon as a new tenant moves in, you do not have to pay rent anymore, though you may be charged for any cost the landlord had advertising or showing the property. Still not sure what to do? Call the Vermont Tenants Hotline. As always, please call our tenant hotline at 802-864-0099 if you have any questions. Through our hotline, we provide information and referrals on leases, security deposits, repairs, evictions, and more. Vermont Tenants also provides classes, workshops, and advocacy for tenants. Thank you for watching.